Welcome to a quick bonus episode announcing future schedules and our next book. As announced in the previous announcement going through with Ozma of Oz, I said that my intention is to maintain a more regular schedule, and I think I've got something worked out. It's been working for a while as I've been working ahead on various books, so I'm ready to announce the schedules. When a book completes, whether it ends on the first of the month or the last day of the month, the next book will start the following month. So Ozma of Oz finished in May, our next book starts in June. On the first Monday of that month, we are going to get an announcement like this letting us know which book is coming next, who the author is, why it was selected, that sort of thing. And then the second Monday will be Chapter 1 of that book. So our next book is by author Jules Verne. Jules Verne was a French novelist who lived from 1828 to 1905. Others have referred to him as one of the fathers of science fiction, a title that's often shared particularly with H.G. Wells, whose Time Machine we've already heard, Mary Shelley, and Hugo Gernsback. Personally, I give it to Mary Shelley for Frankenstein, since that's quite a bit earlier. Verne himself did not consider himself a science fiction writer. I frankly don't either. I find his books are more engineering fiction than science fiction. If science fiction is about extending our knowledge of science to the next level and applying that new hypothesized science, then engineering fiction would be taking the established scientific rules and finding new ways to apply them, as an engineer does, and that's what I find much more commonly in Verne's works than any proposed new science and new understanding. So I think he was science literate and interested in that, and the science part is just a side effect. So the specific book we're looking at is actually his 11th novel, Around the World in 80 Days. It was published in serialized format in 1872, and then published as a complete novel in 1873. So that book will start on Monday, June 30th. It's 37 chapters, so running on a Monday to Friday schedule. The audiobook of the final version is going to come out on Wednesday, July 31st. And then stay tuned through August as we announce the book that follows that. I also want to use these extra announcement episodes as a place to host any feedback that we receive. We haven't had any yet, but because there's no original content, this show doesn't invite a lot of feedback as others do. But if there's any particular authors you've enjoyed reading, anyone in the public domain, both in US and Canada, that you'd like to hear more of, then please let us know. You could send an email to bureau42podcasts@gmail.com. Unless you specifically ask otherwise, that email will be read in one of these announcements, although as I'm trying to work about 2 or 3 books ahead, it may be a while before I get to them. For reference, this is being recorded the same day that Chapter 8 of Ozma of Oz was released, after the entirety of Around the World of 80 Days has been recorded, and I've started reading but not yet recording Book 12. That will be announced later. So, there we are. Join us a week from today for Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. You should note, it is actually a fun adventure. I read it for the first time while I was recording, but Verne wrote it in the context of Western European society. So there are some stereotypes. It's the only thing I've ever read that regards the British occupation of India as the best that never happened to India. So some things may rub a little bit the wrong way, but there doesn't seem to be any malice intended. He's just characterizing the races as they were presented to him in his life in Western Europe. So, join us in a week. Thank you for listening.